Hello everyone and welcome to episode 7 of the Car News by Carcode podcast, the place for automotive news, reviews and interviews. News. This week's biggest news is definitely the BMW 1 Series facelift, and it's been met with quite a lot of controversy about its styling, particularly the front grille and the headlights that lots of people are comparing to Kia. So it does have that sort of tiger nose effect that you get on the Kias. On the M135i anyway, that has been showed, or M135, they've dropped the eyes now. It's all black, so it looks like it's one grille rather than the two kidney grills. On the lower models you do have like a silver chrome surround, so it looks a bit better. There's lots of lines and designs going on. Actually, the Sketch Monkey is a guy who designs cars on YouTube. Actually, I watched his video. He tweaked it to how he would like it. That was quite interesting. I even did my own little bit of very simple basic design, tweaking what I think would look quite nice. Lots of people said they like the round angel eyes. They're not in there. I don't really mind the missing those. I think the main criticism for me was the grille is too big, and then also the bottom of the front splitter just kind of is all black. I didn't really like how it looks. Also, it does ditch the manual gearbox and also a diesel option, so it's now just automatic petrol models, unfortunately. So they've missed a trick getting rid of the manual. Of course, the Audi A3, the facelift, that has still got the manual gearbox, so that's great, and that really puts that in its own sort of segment really, because there's not many other premium small hatches or medium hatches that have that option. I'd say the Mazda 3, you could almost class that as a premium. It definitely has that feel to it, but not what people would class as like a premium car. So it follows in the footsteps of the Mercedes A-Class for the 2023 facelift that did the same thing, dropping the manual, changing a few bits. It is meant to start for around £1,000 cheaper for the performance model, so that's good, but it's a little bit slower. When I say a little bit slower, it's a tiny bit, but people are not happy about it. It was controversial anyway when it came out in 2019 because it was front-wheel drive instead of rear-wheel drive, and the proportions are all quite different. It is quite a chunky-looking hatchback, which is different from the sort of very sleek lines that you get on a Golf 8, for example, that looks quite like a thin car, and that's quite chunky. But I like it. I do like it, and I think the facelift isn't bad, but it's a shame that they've got rid of the manual transmission, and there's been lots of people going on about that car online, really hating the design. I don't think there's many people that love it, so a bit unfortunate for BMW that they've not really hit the nail on the head with that one. It seems that people are pretty annoyed, which is a bit of a shame. I do find it a bit annoying that they got rid of the manual. Apparently it's a mild hybrid with 170 horsepower, the 1.5 3-cylinder. And in other news, Volkswagen, I know they've been featured on the channel a lot in the last few weeks, but they've got some more news, and they have confirmed there's going to be a budget electric car coming in 2027. Not the ID.2, there's going to be one that sits below that, so likely it'll be called the ID.1 or something else by then. All we've got is a picture of the silhouette, the side silhouette, in dark, and you can see it's got a square shape, sort of a slanty wedge shape, so almost up like in that shape, but it's longer. It's kind of like a caddy van, the pictures, but then you can really clearly see the defined wheel arches, it looks like, so that looks quite interesting. We'll see what that does. It was really great at SMMT a few weeks ago. That was my most recent video, checking out the ID GTI concept with Andreas Mint, the head designer of Volkswagen. You can click up there to watch that video. That was really interesting, actually, talking about the philosophy of the design and all that sort of thing, and also how they plan to get it down to a cost. So that was really interesting to find out, but they will actually be having a car that sits beneath the ID.2 that'll be even smaller and actually cheaper, under £20,000. Fingers crossed, we'll see if that happens, but that should be pretty good. That's going to be like the modern Volkswagen Up, if you like, so that should be a really good thing. With the ID.2, they've said it's Polo size on the outside and Golf size on the inside, so I should think with the ID.1 it should be more like an up size outside and Polo size inside, something like that. And there's been a couple of new safety ratings added on the Euro NCAP safety ratings, so they're the European tester of the car safety ratings, so you can get 0 all the way up to 5 stars. And some of the cars that have recently been tested, we've got the Volkswagen Tiguan with standard safety equipment, gets a 5-star Euro NCAP safety rating, so that's no surprise there. That's very impressive. A few others, which a little bit surprising, I think, is the Ford Tourneo Custom, the Transit Custom basically, the one with the windows in it, 9-seater, 8-seater type thing. With standard safety equipment, it got a 3-star Euro NCAP safety rating, and with the safety pack it got a 4-star Euro NCAP safety rating. This is quite surprising because on the van tests it always seems to get like a gold or platinum, which is really good, but obviously the passenger car ratings are a little bit different, so interesting. I think it's more about your safety assistance systems, that's why it gets more with the safety pack. You can't really compare a 5-star car now to a 5-star car 10 years ago, because 10 years ago it was all about the structural rigidity of a car, about how it crashed, and that they had the emergency braking that was starting to come in then, and things like that. But now there's so much more safety technology, and also those assistance systems that you have to turn off each time in a car, which is annoying, and they've just become more and more stringent that you can't really compare like for like. Do your research into safe cars and things like that, but honestly I think now a 3-star car in 2024 is probably like a 5-star car in 2017 or something like that. So they've got very safe, which is good. We always want to see that, and obviously you always want to get the safest car you can, but obviously doesn't always allow that, and sometimes what you want is not going to be the safest car for cost or whatever, and I get that. So most cars now are pretty good. So those are a few new safety ratings, which was interesting. Comments. Talking about transit, this was on my transit courier review from Russ Foggen 4092, said, "For a lad of your age, this is a very impressive review. Actually, it's an impressive review for a lad of any age, to be honest. Well done, fella." Thank you. That's a nice comment. I got one on my Renault 5 E-Tech first look video at Geneva Motor Show from Darren Cottrell 5541. He said, "Excellent review, well done. This car is very much on my radar. Like you, I'm torn between midnight blue and pop yellow. They'll probably go blue with the gold trim if I order one. Keep up the good work." So I talked about in that video my favourite colours was the midnight blue and the pop yellow, which is the very bright, amazing, wow yellow that you saw on the concept car. I like both. I thought the midnight blue is a bit more understated and just a bit more classy. When I was thinking about it, would I go for the yellow or the blue? I don't know, but everyone was saying you'd go for the yellow, and probably would go for the yellow, but I do like the blue as well. It just looked very classy on the car, but then I know it was in that scene with the different colours, they all looked amazing. Not a fan of the pop green. I didn't like that as much. It was still cool. I just love the glitter in the paint. It wasn't like, it was metallic, but it was like the paint was glittery. I don't know if that's just on the concepts and the pre-production cars they showed at the show just for that effect, but no, it was really cool. This was quite an interesting comment actually on my T-Cross facelift review from user JF1CF7LG7Z. A really catchy username. "Let me help you with something. Your like and dislike doesn't matter. Viewers don't want to hear what is your taste. Review the car. Let the viewer decide. Okay." And honestly, I was a bit like, like, it's a bit of a strange comment, because a car review, you do have to say what you like and dislike, and obviously you've got to present the facts, and that is non-negotiable, and that is going to be the same in every review, hopefully. Obviously, in the past, I would have got the odd thing wrong, I'm sure of that, and I'm getting better at, being quite accurate, and I like to go quite in-depth with the facts. But of course, I'd like to think that people that are following me, like most of the time, will agree with my opinions. They might have different ones, so that's absolutely fine. But at least you can see someone else's side and their views, because I know there's loads of car review channels out there, and everyone will have slightly different opinions. But I think most of the time, it's quite similar in my sort of niche of new car reviews. Most of us have probably got quite a similar idea about certain cars. So I thought it was a bit of a strange comment, because it's a review. You're going to say what you like and not like about it. You're not just going to say this is the facts. So I replied, "Thanks for watching. I of course put my thoughts and opinions across, but the audience doesn't have to agree with them," which is true. They don't have to, whatever I say, you don't have to take that as what you think. You can have a different opinion. "I like to think my reviews are balanced and always outlay the key facts, helping viewers make their own minds up about the car. Without any opinion, I'd just be reading a spec sheet. That's not a review that highlights the positives and negatives of a vehicle." So I still stand by that. I think that's so true, is that, of course, it's not really a review if you're not saying what you like and dislike about it. But obviously I know I've got quite unique opinions about some things. Like, I like bright colours, I like a manual, I like 3 doors, I like, there's certain aspects of cars which I quite like that people are not that interested in. So I get that negative one, but this is one that literally didn't bother me at all, because I'm just like, what? Brian Martin 3180 said, this was on my Mustang Fastback review, which was quite fun to do something a little bit different. He said, to review a muscle car, it pays to have a few muscles yourself. Okay? And I didn't understand that comment, because does that mean to review a supercar you've got to be a supermodel? Because I know Jeremy Clarkson is definitely not a supermodel, so hey ho. We're going to finish on a nice comment from my T-Cross review as well. It's from, the username isn't very easy to read actually, DFC DJG VBD FV HG. Well, that just rolls off the tongue. I have to say, this is one of your best car review I've ever watched. Smiley face. 5 out of 5, well done, sir. That's just a nice comment. I like comments like that. It's nice to have a mixture, and sometimes it's funny, the constructive criticism, which isn't always that constructive. So yes, that was the news and the comments this week. It was the 1 Series facelift that everyone was basically talking about this week. So that brings us on to what is coming soon. Coming soon, I am planning to do an update on the Up. A few little things that I need to sort out. I'll just grab this actually. My dad bought these, so we were going to repaint the wheel caps from the Up, but he's bought these and he's actually desperate for me to put them on, and they've been here for about 2 weeks. So I'm going to put this in my update video with a few other things that I'm going to do along with the car, but I need to just film putting these on. And they're not cheap, these things, so thanks Dad for providing me with these. They're normally about £25-30 each cap, but yeah, they're really cool. They're very like retro and cool. So got the white ones again, which look really nice, so that's great. I'm putting them out of reach again from the dog, so that will be coming up soon, that video, of course, another podcast. And then there's a few cars that are on my list as well. Actually, if you could be a massive help and write some cars in the comments what you'd like me to see review. Obviously, cars are coming out all the time. If it's a car that you know is not out yet, that's absolutely fine. Just put it in the comments. If it's something that I've done something similar to before, or even reviewed that car before, but you want to see a newer version or whatnot, let me know. Put it in the comments. Gives me more ideas. I do have a list anyway, but obviously if you comment which car you want to see me review, I'll more likely do it if I know that it's got a bit of demand to it as well. So let me know what cars you want me to review in the future. I've also not done an interview for quite a while now, so hopefully my next one will be an interview with someone, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, if you could put any of your suggestions or what you'd like to see from me in the comments below, that'd be excellent. I've been very busy the last few weeks. I've been posting a few times a week, which has been fun, but obviously it's not sustainable. I'm not going to be able to do that all the time. I'm going to be probably back to once a week now, which I'm more comfortable with and like doing that. But it is always nice as well when you've got loads of content, but I don't like having loads of content and stretching it out. I prefer, if I've done it, I want to get it on the internet basically. So that's why I quite like doing one a week and then just having it on within a week. So that's what I'm going to be going back to. This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, pretty much everywhere where you can get a podcast from, so that's great. And also you can watch it visually on YouTube, so obviously I put a few little clips of the cars that I'm talking about if you don't want to just imagine things, and it also makes it probably a bit more interesting than just staring at my face for 20 minutes or whatever. So yeah, of course subscribe to the channel as well for more new car reviews and car content every single week to keep up to date with me on here. Lots of exciting things. This always gets more and more exciting, and also a little thanks on here as well. Obviously I know my main people who watch the channel will watch this to the end, so thank you for keeping watching all the way to the end, and thanks for subscribers as well, because I'm over 2,000 subscribers now, which is excellent, so that's really great, and thanks again. Thanks so much for watching or listening to this episode of Car News by Carcode. I look forward to seeing you in my next car review or in my next podcast episode. Thanks for watching.